Hi, we're live.
Hi. How's
We're
it
doing just
going?
we're doing work here. It's going well. It's going well. I mean, I'm really overwhelmed is mostly what I'm doing. It's like the entirety of just trying to deal with the house thing is massive. Very intense. Not started and then it disappeared. There we go. Now it's back.
There we are.
I'll get us some tunes while we're at it. Hey, Brent. Set ourselves up with some toony tuneness, tuneness.
Yay, tunes.
We didn't get broadcasting this morning, Brent. We didn't do it very well, so we're going to broadcast this evening, which seemed remarkably appropriate. So,
I read an interesting article today. The
okay.
One of the original founders of ChatGTP came out and said, "You know what? Here is what I envision ChatGTP for: is to go out and help you with a recipe so that it's easier to understand, or uh, come up with a meal plan for a week, or do a fast email that you're out and about and you need to respond and you need to write an email, but you're not in a position to write it." Things like that. And not what it has become instead.
Right? Yeah. Yep. You're not wrong.
And instead, what it's become is a giant plagiarization machine.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm not sure what to do about that. Yeah.
There is nothing to do about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, as in, I'm not sure how I want to respond to it, or I don't know what to do about it. And you're right, there's nothing to do. I really need to get started on the stuff for Ron. And I haven't. I don't. I'm gonna find out tomorrow. I'm gonna drive up there tomorrow because tomorrow is the first Saturday, and apparently I'm not working tomorrow. I don't know why, but I'm not. So that's a. But yeah, I'll go find out. But yeah, I have to find time to read the novel in the 7 papers a week that I get assigned. The last papers I got assigned this week were 2 papers that were 35 pages each. So this week I read a freaking novel effectively. Well, not really, but boy. Some 70 pages between the 2 of them. I do use Speechify, so that helps. The only good use I've found of AI so far is Speechify, because Speechify uses AI to vary the voice so that the voice doesn't read everything like this, and it's not super boring. Yeah. So Speechify varies the voice so it actually has some life to it. I was reading a paper on Latin America and the politics of Latin America, and Speechify has a number of voices, one of which is Obama, and that was particularly funny. So I listened to the whole thing in Obama's voice, and going into depth about this person's politics and that person's politics, and I was like, I picked the right voice for this. It was pretty funny. So
I feel like whoever's writing the Prince Valiant comics, like, has this thing about telling the reader and not showing the reader.
Oh yeah.
And recently that has become one of my big pet peeves is stop telling me what's happening, show me what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm almost starting to feel like the silent protagonist is just lazy writing.
Right.
So what have you been up to today?
Just mostly sorting and scanning. My scanner has gotten ridiculously slow, and so it takes frickin' forever for it to run a scan now. So I'm just having, I put things on the scanner bed and then hit go, and then wait 20 minutes for it to scan. But, I'm only scanning. I did find something in Dad's stuff that was really cool. Way back in the 90s, I illustrated a children's book and managed to only save one of the plates. The rest of them all got destroyed. And
Oof.
apparently Dad printed the whole lot of them, and he had them in his stuff. Because, see, the lady that I did it for, I think she died shortly after I finished the book for her. So she never published it, and it went with her estate wherever that went, and nobody knows. And so the original pieces are gone. They'll never be found again. But I had managed to scan one of the plates in or something and never got around to scanning the other plates. I don't know what the story was. But then Dad printed all the plates out and then kept them in a folder in his stuff. And so I was going through his stuff today and found all of the plates. And I was like, oh, I mean, at least I can keep that, because that was one of my first jobs as an artist, So
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. So that's what I've been doing today, and I probably ought to continue with that scan, but it's gonna chug out my internet whenever I do, so just be aware. But yeah, I mean, it's really kind of cute to see. I have to kind of think of stuff like, what do I do with my mom and dad's wedding pictures, Like, what's our battle plan with that?
I don't know.
I don't either. Worse, my scanner is starting to do weird things, like it's going, the maintenance box is disconnected, reconnected. I don't know what a maintenance box is, but it's a printer scanner, so I'm assuming that it is affecting the printer part of this. Oh, so I have to see.
Oh, it's also an Epson too, so that doesn't help.
Yeah. Good old-fashioned Epson. So now I'm just a scanning fool.
As long as we aren't going into Trogdor.
Yeah, I think this is different music than Trogdor. Trogdor.
Trogdor. So how was the meeting yesterday? The artist meeting or whatever.
Oh, we all hung out for a little bit, and everybody else went on ahead and moved on to the Denny's, and I came home because I just really wasn't. I was there for a little bit, but boy, I just have issues with, like I keep running out of steam at night, sadly.
Makes sense.
So, like,
Well,
even
and
now,
like they keep
kind of
talking about, even now, what?
oh, even now
Even
I'm kind of like
now,
slowing down over time here. Probably got another hour or so in me, and then I'll be
yeah.
like 9:30 or 10. I'll be like, oh, I'm too tired, and I don't know why I'm just petering out so quickly and just kind of running out of steam.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. It is what
Yeah,
it is.
my problem is they keep going, oh, we're going to meet up at Bardo's. I'm like, oh, fantastic. Where is that? Oh, that's 2 hours away.
Yeah. Well, no matter what,
That's
it is always going
downtown
to be 2
Denver.
hours from you. You're kind of up north. Oh, but I don't know how mobile you are. You may not be very mobile right now. That was
Downtown Denver.
a Bardos? No. Well,
So,
I mean, yes and no. But yeah. Not. I'm not
it's
going to
like,
argue with
I
that.
get them. They want to.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that area that is kind of far away, even for some of the people here. A couple of the members of the group are down really far south, so it's just as far.
Yeah, and I could see that for them wanting to meet there.
Yeah.
So they don't have to go as far north, but
Says the scanner. Bing, bing, put the door back on the maintenance widget.
bing, bing.
Go on this guy. Anyway.
Maybe something like that. Do it somewhat like he's trying to turn into this. Wait. I hate poses.
They hate you too.
I'm sure they do. I think I have to turn more back. So it needs to do that action, which means that you might not ever see that arm again. It's up and back.
So what's your battle plan for February?
I have no idea right now. It's like January, maybe done, maybe I don't know.
Right?
But it's definitely been a hell of a month, so.
Yeah.
Is there any, like, thing going on in February? Do you know?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'm lying extremely low. For right now, I have to work on every weekend. So, because there's no real work during the week. So, I have to do the best that I can and work every weekend. So.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think this month I want to kick out at least one comic because I haven't done that in a while.
That's fair.
But I've also been kicking out a lot more art lately. Like,
Nice.
January was super productive for me. Like, I don't know how it was for you, but God, I got a lot of stuff in January.
I have a map quiz, apparently, coming up. That's the thing. No, okay, good. We're done with that next one. I'm just going through and scanning all these pages in, so. All right. Let's see.
I had on more than one occasion where we're talking people who are currently working on like Conan, the Conan comics,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. That this month went, you know, they because everybody's starting fresh on Blue Sky, and so there's been these massive art shares on there.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of cool.
So I've been, putting my art out there and all this. And I've had more than one guy go, God damn, your stuff is good.
Mm-hmm.
And one guy was like, oh man, I love how you do trees. And that was the guy with Conan, and he showed me one of his trees. It's like, wow, you do extremely beautiful trees, sir.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Why are you talking to me? I am not worthy. Yes.
Yeah, it's been kind of a wild ride. Because my account with Blue Sky is at almost 2,000 followers. And it's like, I have never hit these marks before.
Right.
And so now I'm going, just how buried in the algorithm was I?
Right. Right. You never realize how bad you were buried until there's a we don't have an algorithm. I'm just writing in. We got student introductions. And I have to, in this class, I forgot to do the student introductions in this class. And it's because it's the anthropology of Japan class, so I'm kind of like, didn't really need me to do that, did you? And everybody knows who I am. I'm the Japanese person that knows all the Japanese stuff. And everybody already knows who I am. But to make sure that I have, dotted all my T's and crossed all my I's, I make sure that I've gone in here and said, "Hi, it's me." Hit the beat button one more time. What is your major? Anthropology.
What is the air-speed velocity of an unladen swallow? African or European? Yes. That's one of the things that I've always wanted to know, is how King Arthur would suddenly handle him just, nervously saying, yes. Everything about this head is bugging me. Ear needs to go back. Touch. Maybe something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what this map. All right, map quiz. How detailed a map do we need to be able to identify? I need to
Yes.
locate the following countries. Japan. Well, that should be hard. Literally just there. People's Republic of China. Easy. Republic of Korea or South Korea. Republic of China or Taiwan. Democratic People's Republic of Korea, North Korea, Mongolia. Hey, where's Ray? I have to identify his home country on the map. Yeah, Ray's country has shown up on my homework. What else do I have to
Wow, this is some intense, like, music going on, man.
do? Right. Scan. Okay. Let's see. Busan or South Korea. In South Korea. Seoul. Vladivostok. Beijing. Shanghai. Taipei. And Manila. I have to locate the following geographical features. The Pacific. Hope I can find that. Sea of Japan. Or East Sea if you're Korean. East China Sea. Well, that one's at least a little bit more complex. Oh, Sea of Okhotsk. That one's a little harder. Tsushima, Korean Straits. Okay. Ogasawara, Bonin Islands. Ooh. Ryukyu Archipelago and Okinawa. It does not surprise me she wants us to find Okinawa. This professor works out of Okinawa most of the time, so. The Kuril Islands and the Sakhalin Islands. Senkaku Islands. Ooh, all right. Okay. Let's see what blank map number 1 looks like. Oh, she put dots on everything. Damn, it's gonna be easy. It'll be relatively simple. All right, okay. Damn it.
Could need the center.
All right. Map 2 is Japanese. We have to find out Kyushu, Shikoku, Honshu, Hokkaido, Tsushima, Seto Inland Sea, Mount Fuji, Izu, the Japanese Alps, Tsugaru. And we need to be able to locate these places of historical significance. Nara, Ise Shrine, oh, that's significant, Kyoto, Kamakura, Edo, or Tokyo, Nagano, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Kobe, Minamata, Sendai, and the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. Well, that's a thing. And Deshima. All right. I'm looking at this going, okay, been to Nara, been to Ise, been to Kyoto, been to Tokyo, Nagano, been to Hiroshima, been to Kobe. I'm like, where have I been? I've been to all of these. Sendai, Fukushima. All right. Regions and cities. You need to be able to label the following 8 historically and culturally significant regions. Oh, okay, because it wants to talk about the regions. So the Hokkaido region, which is easy. But the Tohoku region is a little harder. Kanto region, Chubu, Kansai, Chugoku, Shikoku, Kyushu, Osaka, Fukuoka, Nagayo, Sapporo, Yokohama, Sendai. Okay. I don't think this is going to be very hard. I feel like this isn't going to be that difficult. I like how she wrote on all of these. All right, I am going to load up Photoshop. And just to make absolutely sure I have all of these down, so that I'm not confused, because it would be kind of embarrassing if I worked this test since I lived there. Alrighty. What does she want me to put in here?
All of the information.
Well,
I think I'm drawing this guy much older than what he should be.
okay, though. Osaka. I noticed that Brent showed up just long enough to say, "I saw your video," and then vanish.
What video was that?
The one this morning.
Oh.
I broadcast for just a little bit.
Like, you know, I posted a video yesterday. Are you talking about that one?
No. You're not cool enough.
Apparently not. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Oh, so did I tell you about the program that someone put out on there about detecting AI and what happened with me with that?
Maybe.
Oh, it was hilarious. So I decided to test it out to see how good it was. And I put one of my drawings on there, and it came out with 80, was it 89% certain this was AI drawn.
Oh, right.
On my drawing that had no AI whatsoever.
Right, right.
So I'm like, yeah, your program needs work.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
I think it's interesting. She did not, of all of the regions of Japan, she did not include Kinki, and I think that's funny because, of course, she included every other region except Kinki, and I'm like, yep, because you knew the kids would not be able to take it.
but but what if you have a delivery service based out of there? You could call it Kinky's Delivery.
That's not right. That's so not right.
I am four, and we know this.
Right? We also know that you are about as mature as I am, which is not at all. All right. This feels like one of those things where you're like, okay, make sure you've covered everything. But you want in the middle of nowhere. North of. Fuji-san. Can't find Fuji-san? You are not in the right place. Are we supposed to find Kobe? Oh, we are. Where else did she want me? What she wants, it was just south of Osaka. What are you asking for? It's just south of Osaka. Fukushima Daiichi is here. I think that we're going to probably do some discussion about that, but I would assume Fukushima Daiichi was powered my my city that I was in when I was in Japan. So when it went meltdown, there was some serious freak out going on.
As well, there should have been.
Yeah. Can't find the Kanto region? You should move. I'm just saying. Kanto region is that's where Tokyo is. So Japan has 47 prefectures, which function like states, but then there are 7 regions, which I guess would be kind of analogous to like the Southwest, the South, the East, except that there's actual like lines, whereas here it's just kind of blurry. The South are these guys. You need to find Izu. I'm actually kind of cooking through these schemes. Also, apparently does not cause any stress whatsoever to print or to scan with a printer having a broken maintenance box or whatever it is that's broken. Which is fine, because all I need it to do now is scan. I don't need it to print anymore. Alright, what else did she want? Kobe, Hiroshima. Hiroshima is here. I went to Hiroshima.
It was funny, I was looking up, either today or yesterday, I was looking up comics, like American comics. And it's like, God, the inking was so bad on this one and so lifeless. It was like an American comic of a very prestigious title. It's like, why is the inking so bad on this?
Yeah.
They purposefully hire teams of people that they burn out, and yet they produce junk like this with that talent.
Yeah. I always feel bad whenever when you see stuff like that and you're like, aw.
And yet, I know that it comes down to this is probably a guy who has worked incredibly hard to get to where he's at. And just got treated miserably.
Yeah. She's not making me find Sagami Bay. That's useful. The Izu Teddy Bear Museum. She's not making us look that up. I'm just saying. There's a teddy bear museum. She should have made us look that one up.
I'm surprised she hadn't made you look up the Ghibli Museum.
Right? Just saying, that's an important place. You don't need me to find Issei. No. Oh.
Oh?
I didn't know that, actually. Tsugaru Straits is the straits between Tohoku and Hokkaido. So I didn't know that. I thought it was going to be the straits near Hiroshima, but it's not. Learn something new. Learn something new every day.
And if you aren't, maybe you should.
Right? All right, where else does she want us to find? Sancho me. Oh, that's what it is. That's gonna be right there. Let's see. Holy shit. Hey, Merrick. It has. I'm scanning stuff in and trying to identify stuff on the map.
How you doing, Matt?
I am trying to find. Well, the districts. Kyushu Shikoku. The good news is they're all simple. Tsushima. Oh, Nagasaki. Oh, because we're going to be talking about that, I can tell.
I like how you're like future assessing the topics based on
Just what she's making us look up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Tsushima is always a problem child because Korea kind of wants to claim it. So it becomes an issue. And it's, since we're doing an anthropology, it's makes some sense. These are all things she wants us to find. Onshu.
Yeah, she's lightly giving you an introduction now.
Right? She wants us to find all these things because she's like, we're going to be talking about this. Okay. So, okay. Kyushu, Shikoku, Honshu, Hokkaido. What else do we need to identify? Tsushima. Oh, the Seto Sea. Make sure I got that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Izu Peninsula, Tsugaru, the Japanese Alps. I assume that is where Nagano is. Gifu, Nagoya. I have to find Nagano too. I've been to Nagano. I had to take a bullet train to get there. It was fun. I'm never going to not love the idea. The bullet train. Anytime I need to take the bullet train, I'm good.
We're going on a train ride.
I'm just saying. I think that. Oh, Kamakura.
Take the last train to Take the last train to Shinjuku, and I'll meet you at the station.
Yep. I think everybody should count themselves lucky she's not making us do this in Japanese. I think she'd hamstring herself if she did it in Japanese. Anything else? Kyushu, Honshu, Tsushima, Fujisan, Japanese Alps, Shikoku, Hokkaido, Seto, Izu, Tsugaru. All right, Nara. That's. I mean, that's here. Should probably still double check because Oh, that's nice to know.
What's nice to know?
That there's a Nara city in or there's a Nara, I guess you'd call it, zone in Tokyo. And I was just commenting because you look up Nara. Nara is the part of Japan where they call it the old Japan. It's where all the castles are and stuff. So if you ever go to Japan and they want you to see Japan, you're going to Nara Prefecture. It's near a place called Wakayama and Osaka and Kobe for that matter. But yeah, so Nara Prefecture is in Kinki. I'm just saying. It's south of Kyoto. So
I am getting kinky with it.
kinky. Just saying, kinky. I like the fact that she did ask for every single region except for kinky. That cracks me up. All right. Nara, Ise, Kyoto, Kamakura, Edo, Tokyo, Nagano. Did I mark Nagano? Yeah, Nagano. Hiroshima. Okay. Nagasaki. Kobe. Okay, I'm just checking my map. Minamata. Oh, I didn't mark Minamata. Makes me wonder what she's gonna want out of Minamata. It's way south. I mean, I don't know what she's after there, but all right. Inamata. Sendai, Shima, Deshima. All right. You know your regions. Just got 8 of the 9 regions here. Just saying. Following cities: Osaka, Fukuoka, Nagoya, Sapporo is easy. Yokohama. Good Chinese food in Yokohama. Sendai. What else did you say we needed to know? Sakhalin Islands. I gotta go.
Oh,
One more time. I think this is the last time. All right.
I feel like I accidentally recreated the Marilyn Monroe dress picture
Mhm.
with this dude.
There's nothing wrong with that.
With his tunic. Well, I'm gonna put this on you. Do you want to keep going, or are you running out of steam?
Oh, I'm doing my homework, so I'm actually fine. Um, but I'm also not being very interesting, so I get that.
Well, no, I was mostly just asking for how you were doing.
I'm just making sure I can find all the things she wants me to find. Like all these little island clusters. Senkoku. Man, they always have. But we can call it in a little bit here. Oh, yeah. Those should be easy.
What should be easy?
Oh, the Ogasawara Islands, commonly known as Iwo Jima. So,
Ah,
like, I'll be able to find that. I'm like, that one should be relatively easy to find,
maybe.
right?
I mean, be prepared for razzing if you miss any of these.
Oh, yeah. I don't think she'll let me live this down if I blow any of these. She's been kind of making comments about this for a while. She's like, this is the only test I'm really doing for you guys. You guys need to be able to find all this stuff because nobody knows how to find anything. I'm like, okay. But it's Japan. Although she did make this hard. I mean, to be fair. Even as someone who's been to Japan, I'm like, the Sakhalin Island group in the Oblast, that one's rough, you know. And Tsushima, that one's kind of weird. These are all disputed islands, which makes sense. I mean, not like I travel to disputed islands in Japan. That's not someplace I go when I'm in Japan. But finding Yokohama, easy peasy. I was there twice, just last month. So finding Yokohama is pretty simple. All right, let's see here. That's right. This book had a sad story. She has this dedication in the very beginning. And apparently what this book was a children's book dedicated to this lady's daughter who was a elementary school teacher and died of cancer. And these were poems that her students, the daughter's students, wrote one time in class, and she wanted those poems turned into a children's book. And I illustrated it.
That's cool.
It actually was a very lovely book, and I'm sad that she passed away without ever, without ever publishing
Seeing it.
Yeah. Because I think Ms. Evans died. So the mother, the grandmother, I guess, whatever you want to call it, the teacher's mom passed. And I mean, some of these are just, I love the pictures that I did. They're very amateurish, but like one of the kids wrote a poem called On the Moon. How can I swing so high up in the blue sky so I can get to the moon? So I drew the moon and this little kid in a spacesuit on a swing, swinging all the way up there on the moon. I just love the pictures. I'm like, I'm so glad Dad saved this because I only saved one. Saved the best one so I could have like an example, but I never saved the whole book. So I'm really glad Dad saved it. My illustration of Mars is accurate. I rode a red cow. We went to Mars. We rode around on the stars. The cow fell down and we landed on the moon. I don't know. Kids wrote this. What do I know?
Seems legit.
Right? It's just really cute. It's interesting how when I was younger, it was, a whole lot more about money and everything. And now I'm like, I wonder if I could just publish this book and put it in the library. You know what I mean? Like, just stick it out there. Don't collect anything from it. Just donate it to the library straight up, so the kids could read it, so that it doesn't just die.
It's up to you. I think that's kind of noble.
Well, yeah. Well, and like when I was younger, I'd be like, I wonder how much money I can get. Now I'm just like, just get it out there so that the kids can read it because it's cute. You don't want, especially the story behind this, where the teacher passed. And this was the teacher's. I mean, I think they wrote all these poems before the teacher passed. It's not like they wrote this posthumously, because all of these are fluffy and cute and not horrible. So 11, 22. Double check to make sure I have all 22 of them. One, 22. 22. Confirm 22. That's important.
I'm confirming.
That's good. 22 scans means that the artwork can be moved to Guy's art.
What do you think about this piece so far?
I squint. I like it. I'm like squinting at it. It's solid. I like that tree. I will put them over here. And all of them now exist in a real place. And a full, complete collection of that book exists now. That makes me happy. I had very much worried that was going to be gone forever,
I'm glad it isn't.
Me too. Yeah. Sally Evans died in 2004. I'll save that in the folder. Dad had suspected, he hadn't heard from her in a while, and he had suspected she passed away, but she passed away in 2004, so only about 3 years after I finished this project. She probably wasn't in good health. This must have happened later than I thought. Because looks like the daughter died in 2001. So I must have done this in 2002, which I don't really remember. I remember it being like the 90s, but I guess it wasn't the 90s. Hey Jan, how you doing?
Hello.
So I guess this must have been 2002.
What are you doing tonight?
So, yeah, it's the how you doing this afternoon? Oh, I had to look up where Manila was on the map of things too. So Jan was also in my homework tonight. So there you go. I had to do, I'm in an anthropology of Japan class, and the teacher is going to give us a quiz on geography. And I'm like, that should be relatively easy, but I better check. So, oh, that's fair. But I had to find Manila on the maps. So it was just a funny thing that the Philippines happened to be on my map that I had to go find for the quiz. It wasn't a very hard quiz. I'm very familiar with the Southeast Asia location, so it wasn't very hard. But then she got really detailed in Japan, and I had to find a whole bunch of disputed islands. So, because Japan has a lot of islands that are in dispute with everybody. Japan is fighting with everybody. All right.
I'm working on a character design for a character who is going to join my comic, and I'm trying to figure out who he is and get his mannerisms in.
Is he a hermit? He does kind of look like a hermit. I'm not gonna lie.
He's a ranger, so close.
I always think of Aragorn. Me too.
Aragorn forever.
Forever.
There will be one day where I will forget about Aragorn, but it is not this day.
Snack or something. Go for it. Go for it.
Hmm.
Man, I was super productive like in 2000, 2001, and 2002. I'm just finding my, and it was all such ADD stuff, like so many comics that I just started and did like 4 pages of. And it's like so ADD. Like there are 43 folders in here. Each one of them represents a different comic book. And only like 2 or 3 of them are past like page 10. I mean, like Tamerlane went past page 10, and definitely Bellatrix Rising went past page 10, but everybody else is just like, and Witches of Flame went past page 10. So of this whole mess, 3 went past page 10. It's just like, really? I've actually been recently kind of coming back to the idea of Witches of Flame.
I think you should.
Yeah, originally I abandoned Witches of Flame because the premise was the same for Apple TV's For All Mankind, which was, suppose we didn't make it to the moon or whatever, suppose there was an alternate moon history. And in this one, in Witches of Flame, in For All Mankind, the premise is something happens to Apollo 10, which delays Apollo 11 just long enough for the Russians to land on the moon first. Because we were nose and nose. We were only 2 weeks before Russia was ready to land on the moon. And so had Apollo 11 not made it, which is the whole premise. So For All Mankind is an alternate future in which that all is, that all happened in a different realm or whatever. And my premise was, suppose we didn't cancel Apollo and it just continued.
Makes sense to me.
So it was close enough that at the time I didn't know. I wasn't sure. But now I'm like, it wasn't close.
So, you want to see my January just in a nutshell?
Your January.
My art for January.
Oh, you're just going to go open up the folder?
Everything I did, there's 18 items in here.
Oh, I love that piece. I've always loved that piece. I don't know if I commented on these things because you sometimes hit me when I'm in the middle of class or whatever. But I look at all of them. But I love that piece.
So here is my January. I don't know if you got to see that one.
No, but I think you were working on that one this morning.
No, it was yesterday or the day before.
Fair.
This was this morning. I was trying to figure out Kale. And then this is the one I just did for the stream. The lake. The adventuring party lake.
Oh, I like that piece.
one of the bestiary things, the arboreal octobear.
The octobear. Dig. That's cute. I like that. Yep. Nice.
More studies I was doing today.
Nothing wrong with studies, man.
Here, we'll push in for this so you
So
can
read
the
it.
text.
Not with that attitude.
I love waffles. Definitely there's absurd high treatment or treat potential there. Definitely.
Right.
I was just messing around with facial expressions.
Nice.
I don't know why I it just hit on this where it's like, really? I was playing around with a hairstyle I saw. I went, you know what? I could do something with that. Make her hair more fiery. And then that was the comparison one with her hair regular. That's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
I should colorize that one and turn it into a sticker.
Right. Oh, I like that one so much.
Yeah, that one's one of my favorites. That one turned out nice too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice too. Your shading has gotten so much better. That looks Archie.
It's Tintin. He went into public domain this month.
Oh.
Yeah,
That makes
Tintin,
sense.
Snowy, and all that. They're in public domain now.
Hmm. That's cool. That's cool.
I love this dynamic. Here it is. Izaak Waffles are trying to be quiet, and Karina is screaming in the back. Like if there was a if there was a comic that I could point to that would just explain their personalities in one shot, it's this one.
Right.
And then we're back up at the top with these two.
Nice. I like that piece.
Yeah.
I'm going to swap with you and load up my side because actually I found a page. I'm actually going to show it. So. That's not the way to do it. Although that is kind of cool. Why are we not going to the drawing monitor? Why did we decide that this is the drawing monitor? This is not the drawing monitor, people.
And why is it going on for forever?
Because it thinks the top monitor is the drawing monitor, and I'm not sure why. I can do this.
It's on there forever.
There. I'm not sure why it thinks
forever.
Well, let me fix its sources. Or it should be. Not that one either.
Oh God, it's getting worse.
There we go. I got it. All right. So yeah, I actually found this page here, which is cool because it's got like, this is Apollo control at 166 hours with Apollo 14 heading home. And then Capcom says, we'd like to get this wastewater dump out of the way before the mid-course burn. We'll start it right now. And then, kind of going through this whole thing. And then, your slip take is okay, 14. So they're heading back from the moon. You can see there's Pete Corman. It says beginning burn. And then kaboom. Because in the original setup, the faulty fuel tank or faulty oxygen tank on Apollo 13 was scheduled to be on Apollo 11. But in my story, it got moved to Apollo 14 because they switched out Apollo 11's protocols. So Apollo 14 loses the tank, and then we're back here at Manned Spaceflight Communications Center in Corpus Christi. And all right, change of plans. Kitty Hawk has had an explosion just after TEI. Looks like their number 2 oxygen tank ruptured. We've been asked to stay and work here with the MCC to help where we can. So this was actually kind of a story here where then my heroes are here, And Bob, you have kids, and I know you were planning on seeing you get your family up to Corpus Christi, so And I actually add down here what TEI stands for. And then this actually was a lot of pages. But then I like this page because it's in color. And all right, man, we have a new task. The guys in Houston want us to power up Voyager 1 and get it out to Apollo 14 as a lifeboat. So the cool part is that I have this alternate history, which was where everything was supposed to be. And Voyager 1 was not originally Voyager 1 was a Martian probe. It was not a deep space probe. And so in this alternate history, Voyager 1 is out there in space on its way to Mars with a nuclear engine. But since it had a nuclear engine, they scrapped it. And then when they didn't have a name for the probes, for the deep space probes, they called them Voyager 1 and 2. But since this is that alternate history, Voyager 1's still out there. So it's like, Jim, that thing's got a nuclear drive. What do we even have? Or do we even have the launch codes? Let's find out. So this is their. So the story is in this comic was that they were going to send Voyager 1 out as a lifeboat to Apollo 14, because Apollo 14 was at TEI. So the real benefit to Apollo 13 surviving this disaster was that it hadn't reached the moon yet.
Yeah.
But in this story, Apollo 14 has already gotten to the moon and is on its way back when the oxygen tank ruptures. And so, this is the story of that. And to boot, the only people who know how to power it up are my heroes here, because my heroine, right? And you can go if you want, and then pretty much, all my family was killed in Vietnam because her family was. And then we'll have to put Voyager on a free return. Voyager has an O2 engine system. The Kitty Hawk could probably use the O2 in the probe's engine. I thought the Voyager was nuclear. The Saturn booster is, but the probe itself is oxygen. I mean, this is really fun. Like, this is a good comic. And I'm like, yep.
You should finish that.
I really should. I enjoyed this comic so very much. Right? I love that Mac is checking her math. So Mac is a Vietnam refugee. And so, let's see. There's the key words, guys. The Nerva nuclear engines. We were going to put them on Saturn boosters. We never did. The Nerva nuclear engines, though. Yeah, baby. So, I mean, all of this is based off of real what we were going to do in the 70s. No shit, we were going to do this sort of stuff in the 70s. And the whole comic's based off of it. Like, where were we? So, it was a
You
good
should
book.
finish and put this on
I
your
really should.
and put that on your Patreon, man.
Right? I love this page. Whiskey Charlie 4, request engine start. This is a constellation
page.
Oh, I love this page. Yeah. Whiskey Charlie 4, engine start approved. Roger, engine start approved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Contact number 3. Oh, I love that, because you'd have to know how these old planes actually started. You had to count up for the Magneto. So that's what he's doing. He's counting for the Magneto. You charge the Magneto, and then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then load it. And then the engine contacts up and spins. Yep. Whiskey Charlie 4 cleared to taxi runway 28 out via Alpha. Hold short runway 32. And it's doing the key cha cha cha. But yeah, Whiskey Charlie 4 is Betsy, which is the U.S. Navy's Airborne Early Warning Squadron. It's a hurricane hunter. Yeah, but I love that picture. It's one of my favorites, right? And then she takes off, and there's a hurricane coming in. And guess where the hurricane's headed? Because this wasn't complicated enough in my story. But, so Whiskey Charlie 4 takes off from Florida to go hurricane hunt. But there's the hurricane. And that's Hurricane Caroline, I think. So really was there. Really did strike the coast and really did take out this NASA location. The problem is that in this story, the NASA location is critical to connecting to Voyager 1. So without this station, Voyager 1's toast, right? And then, look at the flash from our bird. Looks like it's headed straight for Texas. Does NASA know about it? They have a flight up right now, right? Apollo 14. And yeah, we called them an hour ago. Now we got to get our show on the road so they can keep their show on the road. Okay, everyone, we've been cleared for takeoff. Sit down and strap in. And then this is the other version. And look at that. The flaps extended. Ailerons down. I actually saw one of these down at in Colorado Springs. They've got one of these at the Air Museum, so I went down there and sketched it. Because I'm like, it was worth the hour drive to the Springs to just sketch this plane.
There you go.
In the 70s, we were flying constellations for hurricane hunting. And so it had this underneath radome and this over top radome. But that's actually its tail number. That's the correct tail number for this aircraft. And this is the right plane. And I even matched her color scheme. So she's the correct color scheme. I think the other pages have got her on the wrong color scheme. Yeah, the other page has her in the wrong color scheme. This was her 60s color scheme. This was her 70s color scheme. So I have to go back and fix this one because the color scheme is wrong. And I cannot stand it when the color scheme is wrong, people. But yeah, and then here's a picture of the actual engineering station. I went inside because you can go inside. So I went inside the constellation down there in Colorado Springs, and I'm sketching the control panels. So all of this is accurate. I was so excited. I spent way too much time on it. But I'm happy, you know what I mean? You can't really gripe if you're happy, I guess. But man, how many pages did I do on this one? Because there's dupes, right? This is the large version, a small version.
No, you can't.
2,
particularly exactly the way you want to.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. God, there's 13 pages. Damn. There's a lot of pages in here.
You can do.
And here's Senator Ronald Reagan from California continues the question. Oh yeah, and this is. Oh yeah, throttle, choke. This is a 1942 or 1941 Chevy pickup that she's got. She drives around. She's actually been driving it for a while in the comic, because I've had her drive that one since this issue.
And now you know I was so mad at you when you. Because you
I
did
know it was
so
such
much,
a good one, but
I'm so happy to see you stop.
right?
I'm so happy to see you started again.
Yeah, now looking at it, I'm like, it wasn't close enough to be worried about it, which is what you were saying the whole damn time, but didn't stop me. But yeah, the plate is accurate to an Iowa plate in 1949, and bang, and then there's my heroine. She's really, really young here. And don't say swell, it's weird. And this is a trick I actually used to do with older cars back when I was in high school, which is take a piece of cardboard and fold it over 4 times. That's about 20 thousandths, and then you can gap the points. And sometimes if the car won't run right, you can go in there and tap the points down and gap them properly. So this actually works. But it's the points need to be at about 20 thousandths, and registration cards are about 5 thousandths thick. So Daddy borrowed my feeler gauges. And you're fixing my truck with a folded registration card? It'll get you home. And then how do you know all of this? So this is showing that she's an engineer. She just doesn't know it, And then we get we interrupt this program to give you a news bulletin. Last week, the National Aeronautics Space Administration received a strong signal coming from Mars. So they're racing to get to Mars now. That's how my story changed. They're racing to get to Mars. So they've got to get to Mars. And I love the way that I had done this one, because he, is this for real? And then Uncle Bob here says, I guess so. They said they're going to need engineers and mechanics. And she goes, Uncle Bob, you can't even keep this old pickup running. And then he just looks at her. You aren't talking about you, are you? Right? And then that was, I just loved it. This was a good comic. Why did I abandon this thing? What was I thinking? Why did you let me do it? You're like, I tried not to. But this is still one of my favorite pages. I love that picture. It's accurate. I even went and got the timing so that the rotor cap is timed or has the right spark plug wires tied to it. Just saying. They even got the timing right. Mostly because I got a buddy who actually owns one of these and works on them, and I knew that if he read my comic, the first thing he'd do is go, "You plugged in all of the spark plug wires wrong." That'd be the first thing he'd say if I had them in the wrong. So they are accurate. Those spark plug wires go into the right cylinders, man. I love this angle too. It's such a beautiful angle. It was a pain to draw.
Yeah, it's a beautiful angle.
To get her straightened out so that she was going the same way as the damn truck. I have like 5 different versions of this picture that are not good. So yeah, I don't know. I need to get back with this comic. I like this comic. There was one that so I did a lot of pages that were, I did like a note version of the page. So it was just like, what was I going to say? It was a sketch. It was Ashcan. But, but it had my pilot and my pilot girl, the girl pilot, because this is all about the Witches of Flame. So this is all about the women that joined NASA in 1970 because they opened up for more people. So this tracks the 7 or 8 women that they introduce into NASA's flight group, and one of them is a pilot. And so I've got this, during the story, Dr. Sheridan's already now part of the story. So NASA has inducted her in. She's now actually part of the story. And there was a thing where the Saturn V went what we call pogo. There are 5 main engines in the bottom of the Saturn V, and they didn't know what was happening, but the 5th engine in the center started bouncing up and down, and when it did, it broke all of its fuel lines. So it would shut itself off. You see it in Apollo 13. There's a scene where it says the number 5 engine shut down, go on the other 4, and they all look at each other and they all panic and mission control because it's going up, and they're all looking at each other, and they all like look, and then Capcom says, "We're gonna be all right as long as we don't lose another one," like that. And then they go, "We'll just burn the other 4 a little longer." And so that's their response. Well, that sounds very messy because that's not actually what really happened on Apollo 12, the 5th engine Pogo 2. So they were kind of closing in on it. And so in my story, Dr. Sheridan comes up with a way to solve the Pogo issue. But it pushes the other 4 engines because she actually comes up with effectively a turbocharged version of it, which is something very similar to what the Russians were doing at the time. So they remodify the engines, and so the next flight, they've got the Saturn going up, and in the Saturn is our pilot girl, and she loves to race cars. And so the rocket starts going, and they're looking at the numbers, and they're like, are all 4 of those engines now running at 121%? Because they're really burning hot. And Dr. Sheridan's like, yeah, that's where they should be. And then the surgeon's like, I think they're pulling 8.5 G's up there. we gotta ask them. And so they call up and they're like, Apollo 19, are you guys doing okay? And you just see the outside of the rocket and it's going up, and you hear yee from the pilot. She's like having a blast because this thing's like really hauling at this point in time, you know. And I was like, I just loved all the characters I'd come up with for this too. It was just like so much fun. So, and I know I scanned those in, and I need to make sure.
She's essentially Jeb Kerbal.
Right? She's just having a blast. And it's just like so much fun. Where did I put that? Is that out? Yeah, because all of them have names. There's 21 issues. They all have names. They've all got plot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why this is so weird. Like, I don't know how it's all right. It's all right. I got this. The Night of the Witches. This is where they talk about the Noctexan, which is where Witches of Flame comes from. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I've got to get back on this. This wasn't close to what they were writing at all. So, I don't even know why I thought this would be like that.
I think it's time for you to finish it.
I think it's definitely time for me to return to it. No question. At least kind of start dinking around on it and messing with it and plinking with it and making it work. I really liked I also did a great picture of man. I like this. Yeah, because like I did a good job of, we chose to go to the moon and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Right? The dawn of the U.S. space program.
Yes.
Because it given us a challenge and we took it. In 4 years, we were going to the moon. And then we've got Atlas 1. The clock is operating. We're underway. And then there's John Glenn. Right? But then our planet changed forever. Right? Mars called to us. It was a mathematical progression of prime numbers in a series of beeps. 2 beeps, then 3. Next came 5, then 7. It wasn't the Soviets or the Chinese. The whole world became captivated as ham radio operators turned into the world's first extraterrestrial message. We were no longer alone. Yeah.
I like the corruption of that quote from Kennedy.
Yeah. The face of our space program had changed immediately. Suddenly, our moon program was a Mars program. Apollo became a stepping stone to a larger design. Of course, NASA would need more astronauts for this ambitious plan. Many more astronauts. Things were about to change. I really like this. This was good. Russian
we
beats.
went to the moon not because it was easy,
but because
we thought it was easy.
Right?
Yeah, the corruption is we do this not because it is easy, but because we thought it would be easy.
Right?
It's like, that is terribly accurate.
Yep. Here's another great picture of that pickup truck and them sitting in the back, and there's Eve and she's pointing, and there's Uncle Bob, and there's the pickup truck. I just love this. This was a good series. Why did I leave this alone? What was I thinking? All right. Okay. I enough.
I was
on
so
myself.
angry with you.
I know. And I had no idea. All right, that's right. It's not dead. It's still here. It's all here. We can keep going with it. And nothing's different with it. I mean, like, it all still works just fine. And it's not, like I said, it's nothing like where they went. They touched on women being inducted into NASA, but they didn't continue with it. That wasn't the main part of the story. That's the main part of this story. So yeah, I just wish I could find that. I know I had the anyway. Here's the long story arc pieces. So many things in here. Anyway, I did good here. This is fine. We'll come back to this. I'm not that worried. I do need to move all of this over. Ooh. Oh yeah. Wait. One more. There we go. I love that. That's Eve on Mars. Oh wait, I gotta swap. There we go. Harder to see. Yeah. But there we go. So that's Spartan 3 on Mars. So there's Eve in her spacesuit, which is a modification of the Block C spacesuit that they actually were inventing. It really was a thing. So there she is on the.
Yeah, where we go?
Yeah. There. Yep. So, yep. That's the picture of Eve on Mars. I love that spacesuit too. I like that's that modification Block C spacesuit that was a hard suit that they were working on, and they decided not to go with it. But what's so funny is that SpaceX has kind of revived it, because SpaceX's spacesuits kind of look like this, but this was done in 2018, long before SpaceX had a design. And so I'm like drawing this, and then I was watching SpaceX, and I'm like, well, look who wishes to join the party. I'm like, I already designed that spacesuit, bro. Yeah. Well, NASA did. I mean, technically, it's Block C, so that makes some sense. But yeah, I like that. Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm returning to it. Okay, that's my last one. I'm done because it's 10 o'clock, and I'm thinking we should probably stop broadcasting for the night. But I have most certainly decided
probably
we need to get back to this guy. So I'll start moving stuff properly into the correct location, and we'll start poking around. This isn't the death of Bellatrix Rising either. It's just I'm looking at this going, this isn't a bad idea to get back into as well. I mean, getting both of these guys going isn't bad, especially since I think what I really want to do is go back to the way I had done it before, which was to print them out and ink them. And I can sketch them up here all day long, but I really want to print them out and ink them because I really like the tactile feeling of inking them.
Yeah.
Kodos is showing up just in time. Hi, Kodos.
Hello, Kodos.
And so, just in time for us to start shutting the stream down.
Oh, Kodos!
Yeah,
how you doing, man?
Your way.
It's the magpie.
Mm.
Have you stolen any tiaras I should know about?
Oh, I'm not having a good day. We'll hang for a minute longer.
Oh. Yeah, we've both been having a rough day too, so that's why we're.
Makes us feel better. I feel like we have some control over the world.
Yeah, I drew this dream, so you can watch me go in the VODs. You can actually go back and watch me draw this from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And then we did a month in review as well, so you could see all the art that we've done this month alone. So,
And by we, you mean you. None of the art.
and me, Chess,
Oh, it's this week's. This month's.
and then me chastising Guy for not finishing up his comic.
Right? And me going back over my comic and going, what the hell was I doing? What was I thinking? Yeah. I know that somewhere right around here was those. I'm just hoping I can find it. Hope I didn't lose. No, yeah, I guess I didn't.
Oh, I'll be sure to read it.
Can I leave you for just a second and wander out real quick to another location?
Yes.
I'll be right back. Cool.
But yeah, it was a day here. I get the feeling a lot of people were having a day. So, what about you, huh? Were you having a day? Were you having a day, small dog? No, you don't say.
Oh, well. Okay,
He's back.
I can't find the pages with the yeehaw and all that. That was very funny. I seem to remember maybe scanning them in. Maybe I scanned them in. Let's see. I hope so. Because it really would make me sad if I dumped them all or something, or threw them all away. And I mean, I could reproduce it. It was still really cool. Everything good in your world out there, Kodos? I mean, hoping anyway. Where would I have hidden it from myself? Wait for everything to populate.
Well, I'm gonna have to start to fade.
Yeah, me too. I want to make sure that everybody was okay over here. Kodos was okay. But anyway, all right. Well, I'm starting to fade as well. All right. Well, guys, it was good
We'll
having
catch
you
you
guys.
guys.
I'm going to actually turn this off so it's just you and me. There we go. And I will see you at the next time we're streaming, which should be next Friday. So I'll see you then, and everybody else.